Hello, hello, and here I am again, Natter That Matters, and today with the beautiful Michele Marshall. Hello, Michele.
Hello.
Now, don't be shy, that's not in your nature. You look scared, Michele. Do you think I'm going to ask you lots of questions you don't know the answer to?
No, I know the answer to everything.
Do you? And that's why you do what you do. So tell everybody what it is that you actually do right now. What is it that you do for your business?
Okay, so for my sins, I am a sort of VA to mortgage and insurance people. So that's what I do. And really it's a case of doing anything, well, not anything within reason that mortgage and protection people need me to do.
Like what? What sort of things do you do? What?
Well, it depends on how they want to control their businesses. So for some people, I might just do basic admin. For other people, I might do everything from the minute that they finish speaking to the client right through to when that mortgage completes. So I do checking documents, looking at sorting out applications, going back to the client, speaking to lenders, speaking to solicitors, speaking to accountants, whatever. I know, don't make that face just because I said the word accountant.
No, but all of it, I just listen to it and think, oh my God, like all the things that most people don't want to do, you do for other people. Like I don't know, whenever I've got to ring somebody, like an official, like any official financial company, it's always like, oh, I'm going to be on hold forever and they're going to talk a load of language I don't understand. And yet you do that for a living. Yeah. How did you get into that?
Because I was an advisor, started my own business, actually a partnership in 2008, and which was a really silly time to start, but you know, if we could get through that, we could get through anything, and we did. And then it took me 20 years to realize that I actually prefer admin to advising, and maybe I just don't like people much. But whatever. So yeah, 20 years on and a bit. Took me 2 years to really get my head around the fact that I needed to do it. So then I just did it and started working for other people instead of myself. Well, I'm still working for myself, but you know what it's like. You say you're self-employed, but you're actually working for the world, aren't you?
Yeah, I would imagine you're a bit of a gem, actually. I mean, little known fact, unless anyone's done a load of my academy training courses or read my book, but I started off my world in accounting and then financial services. So I used to work for American Express. And I just remember the paperwork. I mean, I was talking, oh God, what year was that? Oh, we were talking in the 90s now, so that's how old I am. But yeah, I just remember the ball ache of all the paperwork. And I remember the advisors there, of which I was one, I remember them saying if they could find a financial planner or somebody that did all the kind of the planning work and all the background work, they could make a lot more money and a lot more impact and help a lot more people. And I just remember they struggled to recruit that role. They always struggled to get people that had the background, the knowledge, the accuracy, the terminology. And I would imagine that's exactly the same now in this day and age, is it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it is. You need to know how to, it's not just a case of ringing a lender to get an update and saying, you know, what's happening with this case. They tell you, and then you go back to the advisor and say, this is what they said. And the advisor says, well, yeah, but what about this? You need to know to ask them, what about this?
Yes.
Without having to constantly go back and say, lender says this, and then advisor says this, and they might as well make the call themselves. So
it's a bit like proactive case management rather than reactive, oh, I'll go and find out, really. A bit like, I know whenever I've moved house and I've built a lot of houses and I've done a lot of property development, one of my closest friends was always my conveyancer. So, you know, I never had to ask her. I knew she was 10 steps ahead. So that whatever I asked, she had the information. So that's the kind of thing you're talking about, really, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and knowing the case well enough so that, especially at the moment where a lot of the mortgage lenders have got trainee people in, you've got companies that have amalgamated their customer and advisor lines together, and you might be speaking to somebody who doesn't have as much experience on certain things as they perhaps could have, and you need to sort of know the right questions to ask so that you're getting the right information back.
Of course, yeah. And I know that when I first met you, you were calling yourself a VA, which I laughed at, of course, because yours is a very specialist industry. And when you think about a virtual assistant, they're more generic kind of diary organizing and, you know, spreadsheets and a bit of marketing or whatever. So, and I know that as you're scaling your business and now kind of full up with clients, really, actually, so you're not on here to have a chat about that. You're thinking about how you can scale your business, and we've talked about, you know, other VAs that have got a good mind for figures, and they're good with kind of, you know, project managing and liaising and even negotiating. You know, it's about kind of being able to have that kind of almost authoritative air, isn't it, to get the results you need and to get through things. And you're thinking about maybe that you could help some other VAs that might want to take that direction. What would be the first step for that then? What would be the first step for that VA who was thinking of kind of, you know, niching down and kind of being specific in what they did?
I think learning a little bit about the market, because if somebody's got a good eye for figures and detail, then that's a big step towards it. But they also need to know a bit more about the mortgage industry. Protection, mortgage and protection go together as a whole. You know, if you're selling somebody a huge debt over a huge term, then you need to be able to help them to protect it as well, so that if they die or if they can't work, that they can still maintain that mortgage, maintain their lifestyle. So you need to know a bit about how those lenders and insurers work. And having somebody, I think, that you can go to and say, how do I deal with this, would be great for anybody who wants to get into that. And people, and then to learn how to do it themselves, how to deal with certain questions, how to know when to go deeper, when to know, and to know when to stop.
Yeah.
To know when you're passing the line between being an administrator and being an advisor.
Yeah.
So that you know that if a client says, tell me what a waiver of premium is, you can tell them. If that client says, should I have a waiver of premium, you say, I'm not authorized to talk to you about that, and you need to pass them back. So it's knowing those lines, it's knowing different networks and how they work, and it's following things to compliantly, because although a lot of advisors see compliance as being a real pain in the arse, they're actually keeping people out of prison, which is the main thing. Obviously, they're protecting their insurance as well, but from an advisor's point of view, the important thing is that you know, they're not going to get sued and they're not going to go to prison.
Yes,
which
piece
they
of
might do.
That. Yes, no one wants to go there, do they? Not for anything.
No. Unless they can take it.
Yeah, it sounds like quite an interesting job. I think some people like all that technical and like the detail and like to see things to fruition, don't they? Like the cradle to grave, as they call it. I know that I always used to in project management when I was younger. I liked that, being able to go from here to, oh, there they are, happily with whatever they've got. So you're kind of thinking of taking on more of a mentoring, training, supervising kind of, not coaching as such, but kind of, well, advising them realistically of where they draw the line, maybe. Yeah. So how do you think you're going to start that? What do you think you'll take somebody under your wing and kind of, you know, as your protege? I could just see that maybe. Or are you likely to start off with some maybe training courses or some fact sheet or some sort of, you know, how are you going to do that?
I don't know. That's your job.
That's my job. Watch to see what Michelle does next. What would Michelle do? Yeah. Well,
that's what I'm saying to you.
could ask people that are watching this who are VAs, who might be interested, to say what would they would find useful. I suppose it's knowing the learning styles of the people that are wanting to do this. They're usually quite factually driven, aren't they? They're kind of quite accuracy driven, probably want to read things, I would imagine. So what, you know, on NLP, what we call high auditory, so they kind of take in lots of detail and lots of information. So maybe that you can create some sort of how to start kind of fact sheet, the places to look, or kind of like a little guidance to deciding whether they want to niche into that area. That could be quite useful, couldn't it? And then they can read that, look at the stuff, and then either think, no, hell no, that's not for me, I'm going to go into travel, or I don't know, whatever else they do. Events is one that a lot of VAs go into. Or they can decide, oh, actually, that's quite an interesting... Yeah, making notes.
Making notes here.
Turned into a bit of a live kind of slightly mentoring kind of session, which I'm good with, of course. I know that you're part of my community and one of my clients. So yeah, I think that might be a good place to start, because otherwise what's going to happen in their head is they think, oh, I couldn't do that. That's probably the first place a lot of people think, gosh, that's really technical, that's really complicated, it's really hard. I don't want to do that. But actually, when they start to look at it, they might realize that it's very process driven, isn't it? So I think if people, I know that you're very process driven, might be able to understand a bit more about the process and how you work. Maybe a day in the life of Michele could be quite a useful little story to tell, and they would then understand.
I think with the right training, anyone who is, you know, who likes administration,
yes,
can do it. And if somebody who is an administrator but wants to take a little step up, then this is definitely a way to go. And often with administrators who have started going down this path, especially if they want to then develop, this is a good place to start for an advisor.
Yes.
You know, it's a good learning curve, finding out these details, because although you can go in as an advisor doing CMAP, and then you can just get out there and do it, but you can make a real cock up as well. So and that's,
if you're employed and training as an advisor, there's an awful lot of pressure, rather than as a support role where you're learning as you go, kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah, that's right. And a lot of people think that they can go and do CMAP or whatever exams, and then they can just start on their own, and they can, but they're not going to do it as well as if they've got some grounding. And also new advisors do need that bit of help as well. You know, like I help quite a few new advisors where they might say to me, who would you look at for this? Or who would you look at for that? You know, I've got somebody who's been diagnosed with Hep B, and but they're all right now. It's 5 years ago. They had treatment at the time and they're absolutely fine. Where do I go? And or I've got this this mortgage and they've failed with so and so. Where else can I look? And if you've got that little bit of stuff, then you can help. And it's
to the advisors. That's like, you know, I coach coaches and mentor and supervise coaches. You can advise advisors. That could be another
on startup. Yeah, I think advisors on startup can be helped, and also get processes in place so that they can then take on their own VA, perhaps, as an administrator, PA, whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. So they're both, although those people that are starting out in the industry, really, where you've been in it for, well, how many years did you say?
Too many years. Let's not go there.
Yeah, no. It all sounds very exciting, because, you know, sometimes we need to know quickly from somebody that we know has been there and done it. I think that's what a lot of clients come to me, because I've, you know, made all the mess ups and I've had all the successes and tried all the things, and it's, you know, it's time served, isn't it? And time served in this age, it's not like time served years ago. You're still in the thick of it, so you're time served and also still working it in a massive way. And there's a lot of yeah, a lot of information you can give, a lot of support you can give. And so for those that are watching this or listening to this, or however you're enjoying this, Natter That Matters, if you are somebody that's looking for a new career even, and you are quite, you know, accurate, meticulous, and you like admin, you like detail, you like helping people and supporting people, or you're an advisor that's just starting out and you think you could just definitely do with some support from Michele, then definitely comment with her. Michele, can you, when this goes live onto the platforms, can you put all your links and things so people know how to get in touch with you? Also, for those as well, I wanted to say, for, you know, for VAs, it's hard for them to find clients quite a lot because there's no niche, there's no specialism, whereas this is quite a good one for them, and also a higher price, so they can charge a different fee for that, because of course they are an expert in that field rather than, you know, into the kind of sea of sameness of other support roles. So yeah, it's definitely a way that they can elevate themselves financially and in what they're doing, and also their confidence, because they'll get the training and the support and the backup of you. So yeah, it'll be exciting to see what you're going to do next, Michele. I'm very excited to be on board to help you with this journey of next level. And I know that, you know, the reason you're doing this is because you're so busy. You know, and the old conversation started because you're like, well, how do you take on somebody to help you? How do you take on somebody to help you?
Oh, I don't know.
You've already created the training course because you'll have to train them, I suppose.
Yes, well, so yeah, and I suppose perhaps doing that training course would then make people think I want to do this, or this is not my bag at all, and I don't want to do it. So yeah, I think Vivian, that's something that you and I need to work on.
I think so. I look forward to it. Yeah. Because there comes a time when you're already as busy as you can be. Where does your business go? And that's the stage you're at, really, isn't it? I know I've been there many times. That's kind of scaling side of things. So yeah, you can have the bunch from the people that you train as well. Like, oh, that's a good one. I'll have that one for my business. Thank you. I love it.
Oh, yes, I hadn't thought about that.
Made clients, when they come through this program with you. It's a bit like I'm launching, well, it would have been earlier this year, but of course we've had all the kind of, well, we know what we've had this year. 2020 has been a very interesting year, but launching my coaching, the She Enjoys Coaching Masters, which will have supervision and mentoring. Actually, they'll be ready-made clients for them, probably, because people that want to come and coach with me that can't, because I just don't have enough time, basically. So yeah, it's exactly the same kind of concept, really. Otherwise you can't help any more people, can you, really?
No. And you just get stuck.
Yeah.
And I don't want to be stuck, because I'm a Gemini and I need to have more interesting things going on. Yes,
you do indeed. Well, I look forward to seeing the interesting things coming on, and if somebody's got any interest in this, then they'll obviously message you and get in touch. And in the meantime, we will sculpt the how it's going to all unfold and enter the world, which will be beautiful. Thank you for coming to talk to me, Michele. Especially,
thank you for having me.
But it's very brave to come on and say, well, I'm in this space where I'm about to go here and I'm not quite sure, and do that kind of publicly. So well done for that. And I think sometimes, you know, getting the support from other people around you and ideas and comments can really trigger off things rather than seeing with it yourself. So well done for allowing.
And I think having you as my mentor has been just amazing in the I don't know, 18 months that I've been doing it. It's just, I'm speechless, really, which is not like me, but going beyond being speechless and getting a grip, I just think I've changed so much and developed such good relationships and friendships, and it's just been fantastic. Thank you for all you've done and are continuing to do. And I'm very excited for where we're going next.
It's been lovely to watch you flourish. I think, did you have one client when you first met me, or two? I'm just trying to remember where you were.
I had one client, and I was also working as an advisor, and then you know, at the beginning of the year, this year 2020, I made the leap. The leap was made, and
look at you. I'm going enough hours in the day, which is why you need support around you now from other people. well done for you. Well done for doing the work though, and trusting and going with it and being brave. You know, that's what you have to do that in business, because staying still is not an option. It doesn't work for anyone. So well done for doing that. So yes, thank you for allowing and trusting me, trusting the process, trusting yourself, and trusting that the clients would pay more and come more and trust more. It's yeah, all those things. So well done. Thank you very much for coming on to A Natter That Matters today, and probably come back and have an upgrade when you launch whatever you do, because I'm sure there'll be some people that'll be more interested, you know, when you kind of get to that stage. But yeah, if there is anybody watching this that would like to be a bit of a protege or a bit of a kind of beta tester of anything that Michele creates, then get in touch with Michele and she will create this people, because I'm sure there will be quite a lot that want to add some more strings to their bows. So thank you very much, and we will let it all unfold. Bye.